Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about 6 different practices by virtue of which you can figure out your own startup idea. I have analyzed a lot of startups and found that there are several concrete ways to come up with great startup idea. So here are 6 practices that you can use to find out your own profitable startup niche. This is not an exhaustive list, so you might very well find ideas using totally different approaches. But if you are a millennial like me and want to come up with something tangible, then you can follow these approaches to start digging. Let's begin. First, inefficiencies. Yes, insufficiencies is a goldmine. Ever get mad about being stuck in a traffic on a road? Think twice. These are the recent pictures showed a 50-lane traffic jam in China. Make you feel better about your rather small scale traffic jam now? It's also a great inspiration for finding new ideas. Try to spot inefficiencies like this, outdated business practices, and terrible customer care services. That's often how it is in well established industries where there is too little competition and stimulate innovation. For example, cable companies in US like Comcast or Time Warner Cable used to compete for a city instead of competing for a customer. That was something established by law. When a city was awarded a cable operator, people had no choice but to use it, so of course there was no need to improve customer service because it was impossible to switch to another provider. Instead, the cable companies were more focusing on their own business processes first and then customer care. When streaming options like Netflix came by, people started to cut the cord off their cable TVs, and these companies started to witness massive losses of viewership. Second, middleman riddle. Another way to spot ideas is to observe an industry which have a lot of middlemen. Don't get me wrong, it's not about making others lose their jobs, but sometimes industries just become overwhelmed with middlemen and get more inefficient in the process. The customers end up paying the end bill. Very often, technology can solve the problem by creating a unique go-to place for specific types of products or services. The travel industry, for example, got disrupted quite a lot with technology. Over the past years, online providers have taken many physical travel agencies out of business. Instead of going to a travel agent, people can book hotels, flights, cars, cruises, restaurants, stables, and so many other travel services online today. The online travel agency Expedia, which was born out of a division of Microsoft, has actually become the largest online travel company in the world, and it's growing fast. Thanks to many acquisitions, including most recent one of Orbitz, which makes Expedia the market leader in US. Thomas Edison once said, "Success is just 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." It's not about who had the innovative idea first, but who executed it better and became market leader faster. Let's move on to the third one, develop an expertise. Many famous companies out there started with a great idea when founders were really good at something. Very often, there were simple side projects that were started to solve personal niche problems or even just for fun. For example, Gmail from Google started off as a search engine for emails that worked better than other email providers, which made Gmail world's most used personal email server. Another good example is Hotmail. The developer Jack Smith and Sabir Bhatia were working at Apple and wanted to communicate with each other about their business ideas. But they didn't want to do it from their work email because that will enable their bosses to read their conversations. They also couldn't access their private emails because they were behind firewalls and the company's firewall blocked access to it. So that's when they started to code a web based email service that can be accessed from anywhere in the world and that is not linked to any internet service provider, and so Hotmail was born. Next one is observe interaction. What if you feel you're not a nerd or even a techie? There are other ways to spot great ideas like observing your surroundings. A good one is Tinder. Its founder, Sean Rad and Justin Matin, knew each other since they were teenagers and studied entrepreneurship together. Rad observed how difficult it was to approach a girl when you don't know her and especially when you are shy. Wouldn't it feel much more comfortable approaching her if you know that she wants to be approached? Breaking the ice is the most difficult part, anyways. That's how Tinder was born in 2012, based on this mutual opt in system, so that all the stress and meeting a stranger could be taken away. Next is future trends. Do you recognize this place? Well, this is how India might look like if you look into future from now. Monitoring future trends is another great way to find opportunities. Don't start anything in a dying industry. Instead, get yourself up to the speed in growing industries and the most important global trends. These trends can be as diverse as the increasing urbanization of our planet, its growing population, increasing longevity, and global warming. Reducing fossil fuel and their impact on increasing CO2 levels and global warming is indeed one of the biggest trends and challenges of our time. Tesla, for example, is serving on this trend. Its founder Elon Musk set out to create powerful sports cars which are not at all powered by fossil fuels, but by electric batteries. These electric cars are 100% eco friendly and aim to change the automobile market to one where fossil fuels will not be needed anymore in the future. For some inspirations, you can check out Gartner's Hype Cycle for emerging technologies, which show each year which technologies are at which stage of maturity. For example, drones, robotics, 3D printing, and virtual reality are important emerging technologies today. All these are growing business areas with lots of opportunities if you set out to look at them. Next, passion fruit. Yes, there are surely things that you are passionate about. Living after the mood to love and do what you love is not just random words on the entrepreneurial roller coaster. One of the great examples is Pinterest. Its father, Ben Silberman, was a passionate collector. In his childhood, he collected everything and anything, including stamps, insects, books, etc. For him, collecting said a lot about who you are, so he decided to mix his passion of collecting with the possibilities of technology. He joined forces with his childhood friend, Evan Sharp, who was also an avid collector together. They created Pinterest to bring the collecting experience online and help connect people who have common interests. So let's recap. Spotting inefficiencies is the gold mine. Obviously, it leads to opportunities, which again leads to innovative ideas. Removing a middleman with the help of technology can reduce the overall cost for the customer by at least 50%, which actually itself a big opportunity. Develop an expertise, observing interactions, future trends, and passion fruit. These are the key reasons why the world economy is moving towards a decentralization. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you later.